Welcome to Garden Wise Adventures. My name is Malie. Today it's a beautiful day near the end of the day in August, the very first week in August, and it's time for another food forest tour. Now I live in Utah on a small urban property, and I am able to grow a huge amount of fruits and vegetables on this property. Right now we're going to show you the fruit trees. Now I do focus a lot on the more rare varieties, and I have some not so rare varieties. So let's show you what I have and show you what's going to be harvested and what I already have harvested. So the first one that I wanted to show you is my Dark Towers elderberry. Now this has been in the ground about 5 years. You can see the size of the trunk down here. It's getting pretty good sized. And it's a very narrow, it's a columnar elderberry. This is a Sambucus nigra, and it does need a pollinator to bear fruit. And I have another one on the other side of the house. And let's see if we're getting berries. See right here, we're getting a few berries. Not a huge amount, but we're going to see if they ripen. So this is a really good shrub to grow here in Utah. And if you have a small space, the Dark Towers is a good one to grow. Now right here, we have an almost, well, I'd say it's about almost 10 feet in some areas. That tallest branch is getting close to 10 feet. Maybe it's more like 8 feet. But this is a Chicago hardy fig. It's been in the ground 6 years now. This one right here is a black mission that's been in the ground, I think it's been 3 years. This year, the black mission fig does not have fruit on it. We only got fruit the first year, but I'm assuming starting next year, we're going to start seeing more fruit on it. The Chicago hardy, on the other hand, if you look deep inside, we have a ton of fruit in here. It is bearing heavily like it usually does every year. Got some fruit on this branch, and I've already had some of the Breba crop. Now with figs, a Breba crop is the crop that grows on old wood. Most of those have been harvested off my figs right now. Now we're getting the main crop, which are figs that grow off the new wood that grows each year. So in Utah, because we have really cold winters and the figs will die to the ground if left uncovered sometimes, not every time, but sometimes they will. If you want the Breba main crop, you do need to cover your figs, and I do cover mine. I'll link a video up above that shows you how I do that. Right here we have a unnamed hardy pistachio. This is a seedling from a tree that is grown on the campus of USU, which is in Logan, Utah, which is a very cold climate. And it's been there since the 1970s. It's borne a lot of nuts and continues to thrive. So this tree is, I think it's its 7th year. So starting next year, we're going to get close to the point where we can see what we have, whether it's male or female. I have another one in the back that's not as big as this one. And I'm hoping that we've got both a male and female so that we can produce pistachios here in the state of Utah. This is my almond. This one is a bounty almond. We've got a few nuts in here. There's one right there. Let's see if we can find the other ones. And there's a couple of more. I think we have 4, possibly 5. There's another one right here. So yeah, I think we have 4 nuts on this. This is its 3rd year, and I'm really excited. I did get 2 nuts off of it last year in its 2nd year, and they were delicious. This is a soft-shelled, super hardy, late blooming almond. So hopefully every year we'll get nuts off of it. This is its pollinator. It's a Nikita's Pride. And it's only in its 2nd year, and we have 1 nut on it. We did get 1 nut off of it on its 1st year, and it was delicious. Right here, we have my medlar. Now, medlars are native to England, and they've been grown there for centuries. They are an unusual little fruit. I harvest these in December and blet them, which is leaving them in a warm, light space so they can get soft, and then I make jelly and medlar cheese out of them, and it is really delicious. So medlars are gorgeous, and in the spring they have gorgeous white flowers. This right here is my Davis pawpaw. It's in a very windy area, which it doesn't like. It's also in my drought-tolerant front yard, which it is not drought-tolerant, so we are struggling to keep it watered enough. But despite the fact of not having a flowering pollinator, we do get fruit off of this every year. And we get maybe 10, sometimes up to 12 fruit each year, just depending on if I decide to hand pollinate or not. But this year, I think we're going to have less. The other problem is the wind. You can see, I'll show you the front of it, but the wind blows the fruit off of it. You can definitely see which way the wind blows. It's pretty much decimated this tree. But we've got some fruit on it, and those should ripen this month. We've also got our strawberries in the front. These are a June-bearing strawberry, so they only bear once, but they do make a really good ground cover and have gorgeous color in the fall and beautiful berries in the spring. We have a hazelnut right here. This one's a Doris hazelnut. They do beautifully in Utah. They do need a pollinator. This one is 4 years old, and we've got our first nuts on it. I'm really excited to see if these will ripen and if there is any meat in these nuts and how they taste. We are also getting pomegranates on my Slovatsky pomegranate tree. This one's in the front yard. We've got several fruit on it. You can see one right back through there. We've got this one. And we've got several more forming. So I'm really excited. This is a hardy Russian pomegranate. And it can remain, and hardy pomegranates in my zone, I'm in zone 6/7. Most of the time we hit zone 6, sometimes we hit zone 7. But these do not need to be covered if it stays above 0 degrees and if they're over 4 years old. So below 4 years old, it's best to give them a little bit of a cover from the winter winds. This is the Jefferson hazelnut that is the pollinator to the Doris, but it does not have fruit on it this year. It's still kind of a small bush, but it's doing better. We've also got a little Carmine Jewel bush cherry. This one hopefully will fruit next year. This year it didn't fruit. It's about 3 years old, and it's struggled getting fruit on it. But back here, the Juliet bush cherry that is right back here, it's fruited for 2 years now. Not a lot of fruit because it doesn't have a pollinator. The Carmine Jewel has not produced any flowers yet, but the fruit are really tart but make an excellent jelly. Down here we have a Borealis and an Aurora honeyberry. This is the time of year where they're dormant, but we did get fruit off of them this year and they were delicious. And we also grow 2 different types of ground cherries. This one down here with that little fruit on it right there is a Miss Molly ground cherry or pineapple ground cherry. And this one is a Peruvian goldenberry, which is really delicious. And I'll put a video up at the top that tells you the difference between the two. Right here we have my most prolific fig. It is most likely a brown turkey. It was a gift from a friend, and it has tons of figs on it. We did not get a Brava crop off it this year, but it also didn't die back over the winter. And we're just getting a ton of figs in here. I can't wait until they ripen because they are delicious. Now we're going to head to the backyard, which is what I really seriously count as my food forest. We have so much fruit back here, and let's show you what we have. This one right here is a brand new, planted this year, totally getting eaten by root weevil, but this is a clove currant. We've got little currants ripening on it. They're really delicious. I am going to mix them with my other currants. I have a pink champagne and a Primus white. I'm going to mix them together and make a currant jelly out of all of them together. This is a jostaberry. We got a few fruits off of it this year. It is a combination between a gooseberry and a currant, and the fruit is delicious. I absolutely loved it. We didn't get a lot. It's only about 3 years old, so I'm hoping we get more next year. This is my pink champagne currant. We just have a few more fruit left on it. They're really gorgeous. And they're really, really delicious. I love them. And this is the Primus White. Now, I'm not as enamored with the Primus White currant. They really have a weird aftertaste to them. I got a lot this year. I'm going to mix them with the pink champagne and see if the jelly tastes good. If not, I'm going to dig this up and find a different kind of currant to plant. And I would love suggestions on what you think might be a better currant than the Primus White. Over here, we have a service berry that produced a ton of fruit. We harvested so many service berries. We still have some drying on the shrub, and they do not taste good once they've dried on the shrub. They're actually really tasteless once they're dried. So I just leave those for the birds. But we did get a lot, and I had friends come over to help harvest. And crawling over the top of it is my maypop, or hardy passion vine. Now, it does not show up or start growing until the end of June, and then it grows tall enough that if it sticks straight up, it hits the top of my house and then flops over and lays down on top of my service berry. So that acts like the trellis. I did see right here, we're starting to get some buds. The flowers are gorgeous, and I have harvested fruit off of this. If we have a late fall, it does end up having time to pretty much ripen the fruit. Now, it's not the same as the tropical passion fruit, but it is still good. This right here is my jujube. It's getting pretty dark, so it's hard to see, but let's see if we can show you some of the fruit. There is one of them. All the fruit is really way up high this year, and we usually get a huge harvest, but the light is such that it's really hard to show you what it looks like. But these ripen in October. Actually, we're getting a windstorm that's coming through, and this blew off this afternoon. So this is what the jujube fruit looks like. Now, this will turn brown when it's ready to harvest, and they're delicious. I love them. I candy them usually. We have our pear tree back here. This is shoved back on a hill. It's planted in the same hole with 2 apples. The apples are not bearing fruit this year because they're alternate bearers, and it's this off year. But the pear has a ton of fruit on it, and it usually produces really well every year. And they ripen in August, near the end of August, and I love them. They're so good. This is a Bartlett pear. So along with the fruit trees, we have our vegetable beds. This right here is a Jerusalem artichoke in a raised bed that sneaks out around the edges, and I do have to spray I've tried digging them out and it doesn't work, so I've been spraying the runners that come out the bottom because I don't want this entire area taken over by Jerusalem artichokes. But we've got a lot of great garden beds. Then we have a ton of fig trees, a ton more fig trees. I have 8 varieties total, 9 trees. This one's a Negron. This one only has 1 fruit on it. This year I didn't think it was even going to come out of dormancy when it finally did, but it is not fruiting. So we'll see what it does next year. Last year we had a ton of fruit on it, and it's really, really good. This is a Marseilles Black VS. We are getting fruit on it. And last year they were a very, very dark fig and with a deep berry flavor. Really a good fig. This right here is a Kazake pomegranate, and we've got a ton of pomegranates on it. It's getting dark, so I'm not going to be able to show you all of them. But we have we're going to get pomegranates. Now the sun is going down faster than I would like, so we're going to have to hurry up this tour. But we've got pawpaws that are grown by seed. We've got a Ronde Bordeaux fig that's producing a lot of figs. We've got an Italian honey fig that is my very, very favorite. We've got a lot of figs on that. An Olympian fig with a couple of figs on it that I can't wait to try. I've heard that they have a peach aftertaste to them, a peach flavor. I can't find them right now, but we're going to have to hurry through because it's getting dark quickly. We have a Parfianca pomegranate that's getting fruit on it. I'm really excited about that, to see how that tastes and see if it ripens in our climate. And we also have some Cassandra persimmons. This is a hybrid persimmon. It's hybrid between the American and the Asian persimmons. I'm really excited about that. So we have, I think there's 4 of them on this little shrub. It's a beautiful little shrub. This is my Asian pear. This is a Shinseki Asian pear. We've got a ton of fruit on it. I probably should come through and thin it some more so it doesn't break. But last year it was delicious, and I waited until November to harvest them, and that's when they were the sweetest and the best tasting. Right here, this pretty little shrub is a gomi berry, and I was able to harvest 4 berries off of it this year, and they were delicious, so I'm hoping for more next year. My neighbors and I have been harvesting tons of blackberries. This has been way, way productive. You can see how many berries are on there and how many are still yet to ripen. Very, very delicious. This is a triple crowned blackberry. And I just did the August pruning on my pluots. We've got a Flavor Supreme and a Flavor King pluot, both planted in the same hole here in the Dave Wilson backyard orcharding method. And this is as tall as I'm going to let them get. They're on semi-dwarf stock, so they should get about 15 feet tall and wide, but I'm going to keep them about 8 feet tall, and I do that by summer pruning. And I will link a video on the June pruning that I did on these. We've got himrod grapes that are ripening that are really, really delicious. And we have 4 other varieties going up the hill. We have a Concord, Canadus, Swenson Red, and a Jupiter up at the top. And the Jupiter, I'll show you that. It is really gorgeous, and it is ripe too. These are my Autumn Britain raspberries. It's an ever-bearing raspberry, so we are getting more fruit on it. We had fruit. The fruit from this spring is done, and now we're getting the fall crop on it, and it's really, really delicious. These are the first garden beds that I built. We're getting ready to plant our fall crops, and I will do a video on that tomorrow. So that will be next Sunday's video, where I show you what I'm going to plant. But I'll link another video that I did showing you when I transplanted those seeds and when I planted them. I planted them near the end of June so that I could put them in the ground here in August. And they will ripen by October. And these are the Jupiter grapes. Aren't they gorgeous? I love the color of them, and the flavor is a little musky, but it's delicious. Now these will hold on the vine for quite a long time, and I usually leave them on the vine until I harvest my Swenson Red and my Concord at the beginning of October, and then make juice with them. These add a delicious flavor and color to the juice. My Stella cherry was harvested earlier this spring. I have an arborist come every year, and we try to keep it as short as possible. This is a standard rootstock, and it is really difficult to keep it short. But it's about 12 feet tall, and that's how tall I like to keep it. This is my other hardy pistachio. It's not as big as the other one up front, but it also doesn't get as much water. I'm trying to replicate how its parents are growing in Logan, Utah, which is on a rocky slope that is not irrigated very much. So this is the difference between a relatively unirrigated and irrigated pistachio here in the state of Utah. This is my oldest fig tree. It was planted in 2009, and every year it dies to the ground except for the last 2 years, and we're finally getting fruit off of it. So this is another one that is rarely irrigated and is still alive despite all of the problems that we have each year with it. And finally, this is my Santa Rosa plum. We've been harvesting this. It's really hard to see because it's dark, but there's still a lot of fruit left, and they're really, really tasty and juicy. And last of all, this is my little tiny Girardi dwarf mulberry. I just planted this spring, and I can't wait to sample the berries on it. Supposedly the berries are of excellent quality, and it only gets 10 feet tall and wide, if you let it. I will probably keep it about 6 feet tall and wide. And then I use strawberries as a ground cover. These are an ever-bearing strawberry, so we're starting to get our fall crop. So I'm sorry about the lighting in this video due to the time I decided to start filming. It's been a long, busy day, and this is the only time I had to film. So hopefully you've got a sense of what my urban food forest is looking like and what you can grow on your properties. So I'd love to hear the favorite fruits that you're growing on your property and where you live. So hopefully this video has been helpful for you. If it has been helpful, I hope you like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and go have a wonderful gardening future.